right? Similarly, here, if you see, there are no thick and thin strokes. This is called as monolettering. Why is it called as monolettering? Because there is no stroke here. Everything is the same, right? So if I want to turn this monolettering into my traditional calligraphy or calligraphy in general, I can just go back and thicken these downstrokes. Okay, wherever my hand is going down while writing, I can just go back and thicken it, and this will turn into for calligraphy. Now, what is for calligraphy? It's basically nakli calligraphy in Hindi. Is somebody?
Yeah, guys, could you just stop sharing the screen for once, whoever it is? I think it's
Jay Sharma's screen is saying.
Yeah, so could you please stop sharing the screen? Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay, so this will turn into for calligraphy. Okay, now that is the first thumb rule. Now let's come to brush calligraphy. Now, difference between your traditional and brush calligraphy is only that this is done with a separate tools, different technique and separate tools, and this is done with a separate tool. It's basically done with a brush pen like this, okay, which has a flexible tool, flexible tip basically. Okay, so if anything which is written with a non-flexible tool, for example, your pencil, your pen, your gel pen, your ball pen, anything which is done with that, that will give you monolettering, but that will not give you calligraphy. Okay, for calligraphy you need some flexible tools so that जब आपका हाथ नीचे जा रहा है, you actually make a thick stroke, and जब आपका हाथ ऊपर जा रहा है, your stroke will be thinner. So how that happens is, I'll show it to you later. But the first rule is the thick and thin stroke. Second rule is that always calligraphy is done in a slant. So we work in a 55-degree angle. So if you see, all my letters are parallel to each other. Okay, so if I draw like two lines parallel to the angle which I have written in, they'll be parallel, right? The lines will be parallel. So always we'll work in a slant, because calligraphy or italic, it's an italic script. The copper plate script that we are working today, brush calligraphy is just like a modern version to it. It's easier, it's more, it has less techniques, it's much easier. You can just take out a pen from the box and you can just start writing. Okay, so which is why your brush calligraphy is much easy. Now you'll say, ye kya hai? What are these extensions? These are basically your flourishes. Why do we do these? These are just to give your letters, just to enhance your letters and give them a nice look, basically, and make them look more pretty and more presentable. So you can just add these flourishes to the letters. Okay, but we'll be working on very basic, simple in basics right now, so you don't get into flourishes.
Hi,
right
ma'am.
now.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm fine. Can we please
guys, just one request. During the session, everybody please stay on mute. Any questions you have, we can take it up at the end.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ramya.
Okay, so this was about your brush calligraphy. Now, the next thing is what kind of tools you should use for brush calligraphy. So like I said, you should always use flexible tip tools, which have a pen like this. Okay, this is an Agile Little Artist pen. It comes in a set of 12 colors. So this has a flexible tip. So whenever, if I'm using this and my hand is going down, to show it to you. So whenever I'm holding a pen and my hand goes down, it gives me a thick stroke. And whenever I go up, it gives me a thin stroke. Okay, so which is why if I try and do this with the same pen or like a normal gel pen, I will not get, am I not audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're clearly audible, guys. So those you're facing issues with the audio or the video, you can just try rejoining once. It's a technical glitch, sometimes keeps happening. So try rejoining once, it will be sorted. Yes, ma'am, you can continue.
Okay, thank you. So if I try and do this with a pen, like a normal gel pen, I'm not getting any good thick strokes, right? And if I go up, it's giving me the same stroke. So which is why I told you now, monolettering is done with a pen like this. However, if you want to do calligraphy, you need some flexible tip pens. So I'll show you what kind of pens that I use and what kind of pens are best for the beginners. So these are the most easily available pens in the market. This is Agile Little Artist brush pen. This is your Camlin brush pen. And this is your Dom's brush pen. All three of them are equally priced, 200 for a set of 12. And but there is a little difference between all three of them. So as a beginner, I would suggest you should go for this Agile one. Okay, it's very easily available in the market. It must be available to your in your closest stationery store. But try and buy these, or you can buy them over Amazon also. Try and buy these because they have lesser flexible tip, which is easier to control as compared to your Camlins and Doms. Camlins and Doms ka jo tip hai, it's a little difficult to handle as a beginner, and it's much thicker also and much wider also. So I'll quickly show it to you. So if I show you, can you see? Can you see the difference between Agile and Camlins? Similarly, Doms is also very thick. So it's difficult to control as a beginner. But they are much more pigmented as compared to Agile. So you don't have to worry about that right now. First, you have to actually get your hands on the brush pens, and the correct brush pens to start with is your Agile Little Artist brush pen. Okay. And after that, I have a brand called Tombow. Okay. These are your small size small tip pens. So I'll show you the difference. Okay, can you see the difference? This is the thick stroke and this is the thin stroke in these pens. So these are small tip brush pens. They come in two different sizes. One is a soft tip, the other one is a hard tip. Very little difference, but they are very good to control as a beginner, and they're very good to practice also, and they last also very long. And this is a Tombow ka bigger size brush pen. This is a little expensive. I mean, each of these come for like 120 rupees per pen. So, and they're not very easily available also, but you can get them over Amazon. But the Agile ones would be definitely available for everyone. Okay, so this is about your pens. Now, what all papers you should use for calligraphy? You should use any kind of smooth paper, okay? Any kind of paper, ruled sheets, okay? Ruled sheets which are lying around in your house, you can use that. Or any diary or any notebook. You can simply buy a classmate notebook, or I'm sure it must be lying around in your house somewhere. You can take that and you can start practicing, okay? But you will have to understand the concept of guidelines, which I'm going to explain now. With guidelines, you can work on any smooth paper. I would not suggest you practice on a handmade paper or some paper which has texture on it, because that will fray your brush pens. Brush pens kharab karega wo. Ek to firstly that. Plus, it's difficult to write on handmade paper. Okay. So I would suggest use a smooth paper, use a printer paper, any kind of smooth paper works. Okay. And if you're using a plain sheet, just make some guidelines on that and then start writing. Please don't start writing on a plain sheet of paper. Use a ruler and scale and then start making your lines on that. So if anybody who's using a plain sheet of paper, I would suggest you can just make some guidelines like the way I'll tell you, and you can get started. Okay. So everybody just look here. Let me explain you the concept of guidelines. Okay. So when we are talking about guidelines, we work. So anybody who's using a plain sheet of paper, they can just mark these guidelines. Use like 10 centimeter of your ruler, 10, 10, 10 के उसमें बना लो आप lines. This will be my ascender box A. This is my X height, and this is my descender box. Okay, just mark these three lines, two lines करके 6 lines mark कर लो. So this is ascender, and this is descender. Okay, this is my height. This is my 2D. This is my 1D. Sorry, 2A. 2A, 1A. This is my waistline. This is my baseline. This is 1D, and this is 2D. At any given point, we will not cross 2D, 2A, and we will not cross 2D for all your letters or your strokes. Okay? So we'll practice some strokes after this. Now these are done in a ratio. So can somebody tell me what ratio have we taken here? Can somebody tell me what ratio have I taken here? Because it's all equal. So it's 1:1:1. Okay. You can also take 2:1:2 or 3:2:3. Okay, completely depends on your this thing, whatever height you want to start with. So the bigger the height, it's better, because it's always easier to go from a bigger height to a smaller height. Okay, but if you're using a smaller tip brush pen, if you're using this kind of a smaller tip brush pen, then you can just reduce the height. Sorry. You can just reduce the height and take only 3 lines. Right now I've taken 6 lines. Okay, you can only take 3 lines and you can start writing. But this guide box is very, very important. So this is your waist lines, and this is your baseline. Okay.
Ma'am, are you using normal pen for this writing?
No, I'll be using a brush pen.
Okay.
I'll be using a brush pen. I'll be using this Little Artist one. And because I can show it to you with a pen or pencil also. You can just understand the techniques right now and the strokes, and then you can later on practice with a brush pen if you don't have one right now. It's okay.
Can you use this pen?
Sorry? Yes, you can use these. These are Camlins, like I showed now. You can use these. Okay. Okay, so let's start with some basic strokes. Let me just quickly make a guideline for myself. So this is my ascender box, this is my X height, and this is my descender
मैम
box.
W पे आपने क्या लिखा है?
Waistline.
Okay मैम, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so let's make, yes.
Ma'am, I have these 2 brush pens. Which one I should use?
I can't see what. I can't see.
I think it's Rishika, ma'am. Rishika.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
these are DOMs, right?
Yes, ma'am, and I have this too.
You can use DOMs. Okay. So how do you hold your pen? Okay. If your sheet is like this, Okay, your pen needs to be parallel to it. But if it's too difficult for you to write like this, turn your sheet towards you. Okay, like this. Turn it towards your left side. Okay. And then how do you hold the pen? You do not hold a pen like you hold a pencil or a pen. You will not be able to write like this. Okay, like this. Don't hold a pen like this. Hold the pen like this and away from the tip of the pen से दूर होना चाहिए आपका thumb और आपका हाथ जैसे आप pen पकड़ते हो. So your thumb needs to be on the top. Your first finger needs to be on the side of your thumb, and your middle finger needs to be at the bottom, like this. Okay. And your pen, this pen needs to be parallel to your lines. Okay. Can you see my pen is parallel? My hand is straight and my pen is parallel. Right? My hand is perpendicular to my line and my pen is parallel here. So now I'll start writing. Take your X height. We start with the waistline. We come down slowly. We use the entire brush pen and make a thick stroke. Okay, as thick as you can. Make a thick stroke. Then we start from a center height and stop at X height. Then we start from X height, come down at the center. Okay, and then from ascender to all the way down to your descender. Okay, and we are working in a slant, which is a 55-degree angle, right? 55-degree angle.
Ma'am, can you repeat that?
So you hold your brush pen like this and come down with a thick stroke. Okay. Use the entire belly of the nib. This fat part, it's called the belly. Okay, use the entire belly and then just come down like this. Okay, this is your thick stroke or downstroke. The next one is your upstroke. So when you're doing your upstroke, you will only use the tip of the pen, not the entire brush. Okay, you will only use this tip. So basically you have to just lightly touch your tip and then go up like this. Lightly touch it, go up. You don't have to make it very, very thin also. Just thin enough so that you can see a difference. Yes.
Ma'am, like, is this thickness enough for upstroke?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So you should basically see a difference between thick and thin stroke. You don't really have to make it very, very thin, like bas touch hi kar rahe ho aap like this. Okay. So can you see the difference in thin stroke also? This is very, very thin and this is thin enough, which gives you a difference. Okay. So this is your thin stroke. This is my thin stroke. Now, why am I holding the pen like this? Because I am getting the movement to write. Okay, my hand is able to move like this. I've made an entire, I've used all these 6 lines and I made like a straight line out of it because my hand has that space. But if I hold the pen like this, the maximum space that my hand is going to get is this much. इससे ऊपर नहीं जाएगा मेरा हाथ, right? So, which is why we hold the pen like this. You can hold it here also. It's fine. If holding it here, it's a little difficult for you. यहाँ पे भी पकड़ सकते हो आप. But I hold it like this because I have a habit of holding like this and I've practiced like this. But you can slowly practice with this distance and then you can increase your distance. Okay. So
Ma'am,
this
can
is your.
you
Yes, Ruchika, it's fine.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you please see this? Is it fine?
Yeah, Richa, it's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So this is your second stroke. So this was your first stroke. This was your second stroke. This is called as thick stroke or your downstroke. And this is called as thin stroke or your upstroke. Okay. The next one is a little tricky. So let's just see here. Okay. So I'm working in my X height right now. So I start with my baseline with a thick stroke, slowly release my pressure, coming down in a little U. You know, I'm giving it a little curve. And then slowly taking it up like this. This is called an undertone. Okay. Start with a little thick stroke and then slowly go up. Now, just take a break. Okay, when you come down, slowly release your pressure, take a break, and then go up. Don't try and do it at once. Okay, so here you have to give a break. So you come down with a thick stroke and then go up with a break. Okay. And we want a U and we don't want a V. Okay, we don't want like SNE chain. This is not what we want. If you try and do it at one go, this is what you'll get. So we want a U-shaped. Why? Because, so imagine there is an oval. Imagine there is an oval and you should be able to fit that oval inside this U. If it's a V, you won't be able to fit an oval, right? So you should be able to fit an oval inside this. Okay. So this is your third stroke, which is called as undertone. It's called as undertone. Okay.
Excuse me, can you repeat the third stroke?
Sure. So you start with a thick stroke, come down, release a pressure, and then go up with a thin stroke. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, now let's move on to the next stroke. Now next stroke
Ma'am?
is, yes.
मैम आपका हाथ उठाइए ना बाजू में मैम
Acha, sorry.
थैंक यू
Okay, so next stroke is your overturn. Overturn is just an inverted image of your undertone. So you start with a thin stroke, stop, and then come down with a thick stroke. Start with a thin stroke, come down with a thick stroke. Okay. Start with a thin stroke. Okay, let's just start it from here. Stop. And then come down with a thick stroke. Okay. If I have to do this with, if I have to show it to you guys, I'll show it to you with the smaller tip brush pen. So I'll start with a thin stroke, slowly come down in a thick stroke. Okay, can you see the difference between small tip brush pens and the big tip brush pens? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is your fourth stroke, which is your
Can you please look at this? Is it, like, am I doing fine or what?
just a second.
Shipali?
Shifali. Okay. It's fine, Shifali, but just try and make sure that this distance between both of them distance is a little bigger. The stroke is fine, thick and thin stroke is fine. Just make sure your distance is big. The distance is there.
Is
Yeah.
this one good? Is
Yes.
this one good? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Richa is showing. Yes, Richa, it's fine. Good.
Ma'am, it's
Sonakshi-
good.
Yeah, it's good. Sonakshi, yes, Sonakshi, it's fine. Priyanka, yeah, Priyanka, it's fine. It's a little shaky, but don't worry, वो practice के साथ ठीक हो जाएगा. So otherwise, it's fine. Who else is showing? Prachi. Okay, Prachi. Yes, it's fine. Good. Radha Shani. Sorry, Radha Shani. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Yes, it's fine. Good. Great, guys. Okay, let's move on. Okay. So let's do your fifth stroke. Now, your fifth stroke is a combination of your overturn, Now, your fifth stroke is a combination of your overturn and your underturn. Can you please put yourself on mute? Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So let me just draw it with a pen first and show it to you. This is my overturn. If I just go back and thicken it, this is my overturn. And if I overlap and make an underturn, this is my underturn. So now there is an area which is getting overlapped, right? Can we see this area? This is an overlap. This is called your compound curve. Okay. So let me show it with the pen here. So I start with a thin stroke, stop, make a little S-shaped curve, inverted S, okay? Stop again, release my pressure, and then slowly go up, right? It's called a compound curve because it has a little curve here.
Ma'am, can you do it again?
Yeah, I'll do it. So you start with a thin stroke, okay? Come down with a thick stroke in a little S shape and then go back up again. Now, if you guys can see, my distance is equal here, right? I'm maintaining a distance and also my lines are parallel to each other, right? So this is your compound curve. Is somebody showing?
Compound curves.
Yeah, I'll repeat. Yes, Richa, it's fine. Good. Priyanka, yours is also fine. Good job.
Can you repeat the
Manisha, Manisha, it's fine. You're using a pencil? Sorry, Mansha Sharma. Are you using a pencil, Mansha? Or are you using a light colored pen? You're on mute. Sorry.
Mom, can you check mine also?
Yeah, actually, I used ruler lines to make on this sheet because I didn't have a ruler page.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. You understand the basics. It's fine. Shaswati. Yeah, Shaswati. It's fine. Good.
Ma'am, Pooja Arpit.
Pooja. Yes, Pooja. It's fine. Sikya, Sahu. You are also doing fine. Sonakshi.
Shafali.
Shifali. Where is your work? Sorry. Yeah. Yes, it's fine. Good. Prachi. Yes, it's fine, Prachi. Good. Great, guys. Everybody is doing really well. Priyanka. Yes, Priyanka. Good job. Yeah. Okay, great. Let's continue. So this was your fifth compound curve. Anybody wanted me to show it again? Okay, I'll repeat. Start with a thin stroke. Come down with little S-shaped curves and then go back up again. Okay. Now imagine ovals. So ovals is a very, very, very important part of calligraphy. Basically, it's also called the art of ovals. Everywhere it's ovals. Imagine that you can fit an oval, or there is an oval just around your working. Okay. Imaginary oval like this. You're working in ovals here, right? So next stroke is our oval. How do you make an oval? This is our sixth stroke. So for your oval, you start somewhere here in the middle, make a thin stroke, a little thin stroke, come down, make a thick stroke, release your pressure like you do for your undertone, and then slowly go back and join it. So, like this. Right? So there are two stops here. So you start here, stop, then you come down again, stop, and then you go back up again.
Ma'am, which pen are you using?
I am using Agile.
Sorry?
Agile Little Artist Brush Pen.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am, can you repeat that oval?
Yeah. So you start with a little curve, thin stroke, come down, make a thick stroke like you did for your undertone, and then slowly go back up and join it. Remember, you have to be really slow and keep taking breaks. So you have to break twice here. So once here, when you go from here to here, this is your first, this is your second, take a break, and then go from here to here. Okay, this is your third. This is your oval. Okay, called your ovals. Okay, now let's move on to your next two strokes, 7 and 8. Now your next two strokes are loops. Okay, so right now we are working in ascender, and this is my ascender height and this is my x height. Imagine अभी मैंने descender नहीं लिया है, ठीक है? Because we are doing ascender loop right now.
Ma'am, see.
Just a second. Priyanka, I can't see properly. You made a B? No, it's not right. I cannot see both the strokes. It's all written in one stroke. Show me how you're holding the pen, Priyanka. The pen holding is correct. Try again. Try writing again. Okay, anybody else wants to show?
Shifali.
Yeah, it's fine. Yours is fine, Shifali. Good. The last one is very nice. Even Richa, you've also done it very nicely. Good job. Sikya, you're also doing great.
Ma'am.
Radha Shani, can you bring it a little closer? Yeah, it's fine. So you don't really have to necessarily join these. ये तो मैंने I did not have space तो मैंने कर दिया. But you don't really have to necessarily join these.
Yeah, ma'am.
Sonakshi, yours is also fine. Yeah, good job.
There was a little space, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Rishika, Sabu. Rishika, you were showing. Sorry. Huh. Can you bring it a little closer to the camera? Yeah, your last two are great. Very good. Priyanka. Priyanka, I can't still see. Huh. I think it's much better. So you just have to keep practicing. Okay. Okay, guys, let's continue. So your next stroke is your ascender loop. So let's go back to our guide box. So right now we are using only these two lines, your ascender and your x height. Sorry, your ascender and your x height. This is what I have taken here. Okay. So for your ascender loop, we will start with a thin stroke like we do for your oval. Start with a thin stroke, stop, come down and make a thick stroke all the way down. Okay, till your baseline. So we will start at our waistline slowly with a thin stroke, come down and come down till our baseline. This is your ascender loop. Now, can somebody tell me what all letters will we use these ascender loops in?
L. P.
Correct.
P, L, F.
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 No, not F. F में हम नीचे जाएंगे, which is in our descender, X and
Okay.
descender height.
L
Not
can.
Ma'am, K.
K, yes. Lowercase
R.
letters.
R.
No, not R.
B.
Like capital R. Capital R.
B,
Small b.
yes.
E.
Small
Not
d. No.
D, yes.
F. Small f.
P for ma'am. P.
नहीं, P नहीं होगा.
Ma'am.
नहीं, this is not P.
S.
Ma'am, what about capital R?
Also your H. Capital R
H.
will be different.
Ma'am, J.
J में हम descender करेंगे अभी. I'll show you the descender now. Okay.
Ma'am,
So mostly these letters, these lowercase letters, we'll be using your ascender loop. Let me just quickly show it to you again.
Ma'am, can you put your camera closer?
I am not sure if I can.
Done, ma'am. Done. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, one question I would like to ask you, matlab it's like apart from this thing from strokes
Okay.
and all, ma'am, आपने camera कैसे fix किया? Like, what device are you using?
It's a tripod. Basically, it's a table stand which I bought from Amazon. It's from X Store, so you
Okay.
can check it out on Amazon. So if you write table tripod or something, if you write, you'll get it on Amazon.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay. Now, Abhi, this was my ascender and this was my X height. Now, this is my X height and this is my descender. Okay. Sorry guys, ये थोड़ा अटक रहा है, so I'll move it a little पीछे. Okay, so this is my X height and this is my descender. Now if I start writing, so I will start, imagine this is my waistline. This is my, now I'm using these two boxes, X and D. Okay. So I will start with a thick stroke, release my pressure, and slowly come up. Okay. Start with a thick stroke, release my pressure, and slowly come up. Imagine this is also an oval. We are still working in ovals here. Imagine that there is an oval here and everything is being parallel to each other. And this is also an oval that you're working in. Okay, so this is all imaginary ovals that we are working in. So now these will be used for your letters like G, lowercase g, lowercase
J.
p, j, q,
Ma'am, lowercase J.
yes, j, y, q, all these letters.
Ma'am, H.
H हम ascender loop में जाएगा H.
Okay, okay. Ma'am, you have made this J.
Sorry?
Have you made this J?
No, it's a stroke. This is a stroke. It's called a sender loop. J is simply, okay, let me just show it to you. This is your J.
Yes,
if I take it, this is your J. Okay.
Ma'am, like, can you show this whole page so that I can take a snapshot of it? Whole page, like taking your camera a little away. I think so.
I think it's fine now.
Like, I'm not able to see the whole page.
Yes, ma'am, it's fine.
Is it fine now?
Yes. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
great.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so this is what we were going to do today for our basic introduction strokes. Just one more thing I want to show it to you guys. It's basically
Mom,
for
at the
your
last, can you show me? I didn't take it like it was. A minute, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you
Thank
just
you,
repeat
ma'am.
last?
welcome. Sorry.
Can you repeat that last descender?
Okay. So you start with a thick stroke,
Ma'am,
release your pressure, and then go back and join it in the center. Okay. Just two, three exercises I want to show it to you for your muscle memory building. So first is make an oval. Take a pencil, a blunt pencil like this. Okay. Make an oval. Okay. I hope you guys can see. Yeah. So keep going over that oval like this. Okay. Make another oval. Keep going over that oval. So this will help you to remember the oval shape. Okay. So this is one. Then there is this infinity loop. Just keep going over this infinity loop. You can also use the normal infinity, this one. Okay. Just keep going over this with a pencil so that you will get the hang of moving your hand. This is called building muscle memory. This is the way you build your stamina, right? When you're exercising. So this is building muscle memory for calligraphy. The last one is concentric circles, like repetitive ovals overlapping each other like this. Infinity loop is like this. You can just draw it like this. It's an interconnected loop. And then you can just keep going over it. Okay. So these are your 3 exercises. And after this, we are done for today. So I hope you guys like the class, and I'll just hand over it to Ayushi now. Thank you.
Ma'am,
Yes. Yes, who was it? Somebody wanted to ask a question.
third,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
repeat again, ma'am.
Sorry?
Thank you, ma'am.
This one. This is just like normal ovals. You're just repeating, overlapping each other like this. Okay. Okay. Ayushi, you can take over.
Yes, sure, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, guys, I want to ask, how was the session for all of you? Quickly in the chat box. I want to see the feedback from all of you. Okay, Richa says nice.
It was really beautiful.
It was awesome.
The way Diksha
Awesome.
ma'am explains, that is the most important thing, because बहुत से so one
Mom, actually, like I loved the session. It was like such a learnable.
Thank
I
you.
learned more skills. It was
Ma'am,
like
today's lesson is very good and helpful to our beginners for calligraphy.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Mom, I learned like more strokes
That's really great, guys, to know such
and
great
some
feedback.
tips about calligraphy. Tips.
Thank
Okay.
you, ma'am, for the session.
That's lovely, guys. Really nice to know that you really enjoyed today's workshop. That is, yes. Say something.
Can Diksha, ma'am?
Yes, Diksha ma'am, she has a question for you.
Ma'am, can you see my artwork? I have made with a normal marker.
Who's talking? Rishika.
It's Rishika.
Very nice. Very nice.
very beautiful.
Really beautiful.
How can I get this recorded
Mom,
session?
I really liked
Okay,
her effort. Like she was teaching step by step.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am,
If somebody had asked that you want to learn alphabets also, see, after this, we have a masterclass which Ayushi is going to talk about. So let her just explain you about the masterclass and all those alphabets and how to write words, how to connect your letters. Everything is going to be taught in that class. So let just Ayushi talk about that masterclass.
Okay, so guys, I think I can take it over now. I just need a little attention from all of you. And yes, Shifali ma'am, I just heard your query that you were asking for the recording. Now the sad part is, guys, this is a free workshop. Okay, so for the free demo workshops, we don't promise any recording. Okay, but for the masterclass regarding which I'll be talking about, I'll be giving all the details, and you will have the recordings for the lifetime period. Okay, and unlimited access to them. So guys, before I go on to the masterclass details, I want to know how many of you all are like seriously thinking of taking it up further or maybe learning calligraphy a little more. And you are also planning to take up the masterclass or maybe think about it. Everybody in the chat box. Okay, Richa said me. That's lovely. What about others? Okay, Shraddhanjali, Shashwati, all ready. What about others?
This.
That's lovely, Priyanka. That's lovely. Great. So a lot of you are actually, yes, I'll be talking about the charges and everything.